Good morning. So half of what I do in the office is really help people become more aware, become more conscious. And one of the things we look at are behaviors that really are counterproductive. They're not getting people where they want to go. And, pardon me, couples generally recognize that they have patterns they repeated over and over again that aren't getting them where they want to go. And Freud called them the repetition compulsion, the tendency of human beings to repeat ineffective behaviors over and over again. So my job is to help people stand back and look at what they're doing, seeing it's not working, but then more importantly, give them some alternatives, give them different ways to do something where it will get them where they want to go, and help them realize that they can make different choices. And I use myself as an example. For the first 15 years of our marriage, if my wife came on too strong, I'd shut down. Well, if I step back and look at that, pretty counterproductive, but I did it for a long time. And then when we were introduced to the Imago system, I realized I could look more closely at those patterns of behavior and then do something different. So why do we do that? And I'm sure there's many reasons, but here's one possibility. Before I trained with Harville and Helen, I trained as an Adlerian psychologist. And Alfred Adler was a contemporary of Freud's, but broke with Freud early on because they disagreed on many different topics. Anyway, Adler's understanding of human behavior was that by the time a child is 4 or 5, they figured out how to fit into their little family of origin. All right, they know how to get their own way, to get attention, to get strokes, etc. And I think those of you with small children would agree that they're pretty good at manipulating affairs. And he called this a lifestyle. That child has developed a lifestyle. We all did. Developed a lifestyle, how to fit into our little family of origin, what we had to do to fit in. Then what brings people into my office at 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 is that metaphorically they're in Toronto, but they're still using he likened to a map, say your family of origin, a very accurate map of Windsor. And then later in life, like I said, metaphorically, they're in Toronto, but they're still using their Windsor map, the lifestyle they developed at 4 or 5, and it's not working. But Adler's conclusion then was not that there's something wrong with you, but he's saying, look, what you learned at 4 or 5 isn't working. Now you can keep doing it, or you can say, okay, how can I do it differently? And that's where helping keep people become more aware, more conscious fits in, so that people can step back and see what they're doing, it's just not working. And now we have different possibilities. So in Getting the Love You Want, Harville and Helen say, insight, so because often therapy in the past was about insight, and they're saying, and there's nothing wrong with insight, but they're saying insight into childhood wounds is an element of therapy, but it isn't enough, nor is it the critical element. Above all, people need to learn how to let go of counterproductive behaviors and replace them with more effective ones. And I tell couples, you can't change your life right now, but you can change the direction of your life in this moment of time. And I think the key is to recognize that certain behaviors, what you're doing is really counterproductive. It's not getting you where you want to go, but you can make different choices. Okay? Anyway, have a great day, and we'll see you next week.